Hi, I'm Parizae Azhar. Let's see some makeup hacks.
Makeup hacks, makeup hacks. Watch this vid, get the facts. Makeup hacks with Parizae.
Hey guys, I'm Parizae Azhar. I'm a new YouTuber and my passion is music and makeup. I love makeup and I've always wanted to be a makeup artist, and I just wanted to share my ability with all of you, and I wanted to show you how to easily do makeup with a budget. And if you don't have products, you can use anything else that you want that you have. For example, in my video that I'm going to show you, I used eyeshadow as bronzer and bronzer as eyeshadow. So you can do anything that you want, and I'm going to teach you how you can do that. So if you guys like this look and want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. So before we start the makeup tutorial, there's some things that are very important for your skin and your lips and everything, so that your makeup, it holds on during the day and it doesn't fall apart. So the first thing that I love to do is use this moisturizer by Olay. So let's get on with the look. So basically how I put my foundation on is that I like to use a glass plate or a glass palette so that I can mix my foundation well and I can use it accordingly. So right now I've been using this glass plate that I have at home. So I'm just going to take some foundation. The foundation that I use is Invincible foundation by Color Studio. And it's a really nice foundation. So I'm just going to take a bit of this and put it in my glass palette. And then I'm going to mix it with some other BB cream. The BB cream that I use is by Rimmel London. It's in shade Very Light. It's basically my shade. So I'm going to mix this with my foundation so that I get a full coverage look and it doesn't look too white, because this foundation is a little lighter than my skin. The best thing that I like to blend my foundation with is a beauty blender or a simple sponge that can easily blend my foundation. But what I like to do is I like to soak this in water so that it becomes a little damp, because when it's damp, it's very easy to manipulate the look and spread the foundation around, because when it's dry, it sticks to the dry patches on your face and then that looks very patchy and streaky. So now I'm going to put on some foundation. And then I'm going to put the darker foundation on my beauty blender from this glass palette so that it mixes in well. So basically how I like to put on foundation is by using dabbing motions instead of swiping the foundation, because then the product moves around a lot and doesn't cover the part of the face which you want covered. So when you dab it in that place, it seeps into the skin and it stays locked in. So for my concealer, I'm going to take a few drops of this baby oil by Johnson & Johnson's, and I'm going to put it in my glass palette and mix it up so that the consistency becomes a little lighter and like liquid, because I don't like the consistency of these thick foundations or concealers because they're too thick and they give a cakey effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this brush by Naked, this brush, and I'm just going to put it on my concealer. So I'm going to use my beauty blender again, and I like using this side under my eyes instead of using this side, because this side gets inside and it's very easy to blend over here. So this is how I'm going to do it. Now I'm quickly going to set my under eye before it creases. I'm going to use Stay Matte by Rimmel London. I'm going to take some of this powder and dab it in before my under eye creases. You don't want your under eye to crease, otherwise lines will appear all day. So I match my foundation according to this area, not my neck, because your neck is usually a little darker. So when you put your foundation on your ears and your neck, it matches with this area, and then your face looks complete and it doesn't look a little weird. So to contour my face, I'm going to use this bronzer by Luscious. It's actually an eyeshadow that I use. I really like this shade for contouring. So you can do this as well. You can use your eyeshadows as a contouring powder. You don't have to buy separate contouring kits and anything. If you like a shade that suits your face, then you can always use an eyeshadow that you like for contouring or bronzing. So this is by Luscious. It's called Truly Madly Deeply, and I love this shade for contouring and bronzing my face. I'm just gonna grab a brush from my brush set here, and I like using this brush because it's not too big and not too tiny, so it can fit right under my cheekbone over here. So I'm just gonna take a bit of this bronzer, and I'm gonna make my face like this so I can see the points where I want to put it, where I want to put the bronzer. Make sure that your contour is not too harsh so that when you go out, people won't see a line over here. Make sure it's fully blended. So I'm just going to blend this in. And then on the other side, what you can do is take your brush, put it in the middle of your face, and then do this. See? You see it right under here. And then do the same, take it over here and take it to this side. Now you know where to put the bronzer, and this way your face will look proportionate and not, a little weird that your contour is up here from this side and down there from this side. So now I know exactly where I want to put it. So I'm going to do the same thing. So the next thing that I'm going to put on is my blush. So this is a blush by Luscious Cosmetics. It's called Champagne. It's a beautiful blush. It has a little bit of gold flakes in it, and those look really nice. They give a really dewy effect on your face, and I love that about this blush. A lot of people don't know where to put the blush, and I didn't know it either. And I've learned that the way you put your blush is you just smile. And when you smile, you see the apples of your cheek. These are the apples of your cheeks. So what I do is I take some product, I tap it off. If I think that it's too pigmented still, then I'll just put a little bit on my hand and test it out. And if I think it's fine, then I'll put it on my face so that it doesn't become too patchy and my makeup doesn't get destroyed. So I'm gonna find the apple of my cheek. It's right here. I'm not gonna put it on this, but sweep it across my face on the apple of my cheek. This is how you get a very natural look. So the next thing that I'm going to do are my eyebrows. So make sure that you have a spoolie. This is a spoolie. This is something that you brush your eyebrow hairs with. So what I like to use is this micro brow pencil by NYX Cosmetics. The shade that I'm using is called Espresso. And the next product that I use two products whenever I do my brows. You don't have to, but I just like using two products. The brow kit, it's a deep brown by Maybelline New York. It's a very nice palette because you get, I'll show you, because you get a wax, a brown powder that you put on your eyebrows, and then you get a shimmer to highlight your brow bone and carve out your brows. So I love using this. Even the brush, usually the brushes aren't that good, but the brush in this, I really like it because it's an angled brush. It's a tiny brush and you can easily go around with your eyebrows with this. So I love using this brush for this palette. So I'm just gonna go in and brush my eyebrows first so that I know where they are. Then I'm going to take my NYX pencil, the pencil side of this, and just carve out my brows. So with my brows, they're just straight. I don't know why they're straight. So I like a little arch in my brow. So what I do is I take my pencil and I just draw a line and draw where I want it. I don't want it to look too fake, but then I just want it to look a little not too straight. I'm just gonna go in and color my brow. So make sure that you don't darken this part of your brow, because it's going to look very blocky and it's not going to look natural. You always want natural brows. So what I like to do is fill in my brows from this end so that there's a fade effect and your brow looks natural instead of very blocky and weird. I'm just going to take my Maybelline brow kit and use the brush and take some wax. This wax will keep the brow hairs in place and they won't move around all day. After I've applied the brow wax, I'm going to go in with the powder in deep brown, and I'm going to make sure that I don't put too much pressure in the beginning of the brow. And I'm just going to go very lightly in the beginning and not to put too much pressure, because then it'll look like a block brow and I don't want that. With the powder, I'm going to define the arch that I made. I'm not going to make them too thick because then they look uneven and not natural. So I want my brows to look as not natural as possible. So you can see the difference right now, how my brow hair is just straight and how I've created a shape and manipulated it so it looks a little, so that you can see an arch over here. So there's one tip that I had to tell you about my brows, how I do my brows. Sometimes your brows aren't groomed and you don't have time to tweeze them or do anything. So how you find out the shape of your brow and where they start and where they should end is a very simple trick. I use this pencil. You can use any straight brush or a pencil or anything, and then just go straight like this. And then from here, from your nose, you go to this side, and till the end of your eye, your brow should end where your eye ends from your nose. And you can do the same over here. On this side, it should be right here, and on this side, it should be right here. Now that I'm done with my brows, I love to carve them out and create a proper shape for my brows and highlight my brow bone and the areas around my brow. So I'm just going to take a little brush and my concealer and put some baby oil as I did before. And then I'm just going to go around my eye and carve it out. Now that my brows are carved, I'm just going to blend out the edges.